Yeah, so he was like, so I'm not the top of your list of priorities. I'm like, no. And then he starts to get loud with me. He was like, well, when you finish, with your other appointments that you're obviously placing above this, and by the way, I'm talking about money here. You need to make sure that you go check out this information right now. Talk to me like I'm crazy, or he's crazy, and like I'm 5 years old, and how my mama talked to me when I was 5 years old. And I was blown away. But fortunately, I don't get tongue tied when I'm blown away. I was like, I know this Negro didn't go and sit there and get loud with me. And so I was like, hold up, you getting way, way, way out of hand. Or going way too far. And he was like, obviously, uh, I'm not, how did he phrase it? Because I said he was doing way too much. He said, obviously, I'm not doing enough because I'm not there with you. And I'm not close enough to where I'm like number one to you. And I'm like, and I'm cracking up. I said, well, you could go from not doing enough to doing too much and just miss all the in between fun stuff, if you continue in this behavior. And so he kind of backed down a little bit. But I was like, this is amazing. So I'm still peeping this game and I'm like, wow, because at some point, once again, it's still playing. It's like planting these seeds. I'm the most important thing in your life. I'm number one. Everything revolves around me. You need to go and cater to me. You need to go and improve. And part of the hardest part of the programming that I've received as a female that I had to constantly work on and release on and break vows and contracts, obligations and stuff is this desire for male approval and masculine approval. And what I've realized is that one of the reasons why women in particular have such a strong desire for masculine approval in specific is because we're brainwashed, among other things, to think that God is male, the ultimate authority creator, one who we owe all allegiance, all love, all obedience to, if that's our relationship with the quote unquote God, is to a male. And so it's like from jump, we were programmed, okay, we must do all these things so we could have God's approval. And then after God is oftentimes our father. And then as we get older, it's our husband or our man. And we have this place in our minds where this masculine energy is more important than we are. And so he's like tapping into that and probing that and, trying to connect with that and place him and assert himself in that place. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty amazing. And one of the things that I've always known is that up until I became really conscious of this programming, I was very susceptible to desiring and needing masculine approval and really going all out of my way to maintain it and feeling a sense of desperation and neediness if I didn't have it. And I'm seeing him just probing it, planting those seeds, and it's amusing to me. And I'm like, well, I doubt if I give you the opportunity to talk to me crazy again, or I might just have to have one more conversation with him. Well, who knows? He might decide to behave himself, and I might have a couple more gems to learn, or maybe not. I'll play by ear. But this whole interaction has been totally, totally enlightening. Uh, and just this assumption automatically, that I give you my phone number and you call and I answer the phone, and so that makes me yours. And I'm like I said, women, we like to be claimed, but I don't want to be claimed like that because he's not offering anything in return. And that's the crazy thing about the pimp relationship. He ain't offering shit besides for this illusion of masculine direction, but there's no substance behind it. There's no actual there's nothing, and I'm like, and I will be, of course, bending over backwards, literally and figuratively, to get whatever it is that he wants. So, it's been putting all of these, it's been helping me to focus all these different ideas and understandings and awarenesses as far as this interaction, masculine, feminine energy, and how it works and interacts, and how I can go and tap into it from a very healthy, holistic place, and then go and share my understanding and awareness of it with others. And so they could go and kind of plug into it from that perspective and make it work for me. And then also be able to become aware of the aspects of their lives where they're out of sync or out of balance with it, where it's causing them more difficulty and harm than good, as far as bad habits, program insecurities, and stuff like that. Because most of this is unconscious. It's like the program that we receive, and how we interact, especially in terms of relationships, in terms of male and female interaction, masculine and feminine interaction energetically, is unconscious because it's things that we just picked up, probably picked up from our environment, from our society, from our culture, from our experience. And it's very, I can't even think of the right word. It just don't work. It don't work. It doesn't provide us with happiness or satisfaction or fulfillment, but we continue operating in the same vein because that's all we know. So I actually did jot down some notes this time, but I pretty much have went off the top of my head. But I'll have some other points I wanted to make, but I think I may make those at another time. So that being said, so far that has been my experience, my awareness, my realizations, my understandings, the enlightenment I've been receiving since I've been involved with this whole in training process. And that concludes all that I have to say about that. And so my second part, I don't know why my earring just fell out. But anyway, the second part of this will be Lessons in Love, and it'll be the second part of it, and it's called Second Time Around. So at the same time, I have this pimp energy that's been in my space that I've been learning from. I've My ex showed up again. He's been trying for a very long period of time to resurface, and I realized that there was some gifts that he was bearing me, some information I needed to get, some enlightenment and some perception and some awareness. And so I actually took out the time, in the first time in like 2 years, to actually go and interact with him just on Messenger. He still don't have the pleasure of calling me and listening or talking to me on the phone unless he pays me. But yeah, and so that's the second part of my lessons in love. So come back for the next installment or a section of this particular topic, and that concludes what I have to say for this evening. So, on that note, I hope you have a lovely, wonderful evening, and I don't know. I would say beware the pimps if they show up, but who knows? If they have gifts to offer you and you feel comfortable with that interaction, then it might be worthwhile your time. And if it's not, you can always just cut them off. That's quite simple. So, that being said, take care. Have a lovely, lovely night, a great Friday going on into the weekend. And I will be back tomorrow with part two, Lessons in the Second Time Around. And this is um, the lessons I've been learning from this brief interaction I've had with my ex trying to show up in my life again. Peace, y'all.